There are a lot of awesome new soundbars being released this year. Between Klipsch, Samsung, LG, JBL, and more, there are quite a few new ones that have already received a ton of hype. It's difficult to know if you should go ahead and buy a new system now or wait for one of these new systems to be released. Let's discuss. What's up guys, Jonah Mathis here. I help people with different aspects of soundbars, TVs, home entertainment systems, and more. Today, I'd like to discuss many of the new soundbar systems being released this year, as well as information on buying soundbar systems. Before we get started, I need you to take 2.4 seconds to smash that like button. This will help my channel tremendously, and I'd really appreciate it. Starting out with one of the most highly anticipated systems, the Klipsch Cinema 1200. This will be a 5.1.4 channel soundbar system featuring a massive 54-inch long soundbar, 12-inch down-firing wireless subwoofer, and 2 wireless surround speakers that have upward-firing drivers. Now, it's nothing that we haven't seen already from other manufacturers, but to be made by such a highly respected audio brand like Klipsch, it's garnered a ton of hype. The soundbar itself will contain a total of 11 speaker drivers, 6 3-inch forward-firing drivers, 3 1-inch tweeters, and 2 3-inch upward-firing drivers. The surrounds will have 2 3-inch full-range drivers, one front-firing and the other upward-firing. Something rather unfortunate about the system is that it will not support DTS audio codecs. At least that's what's shown on all the sales pages. It will, however, support both Dolby Atmos and LPCM up to 8 channels. This is extremely similar to the current Sonos Arc. So if you're a big Blu-ray watcher, this may not be the best system for you. But if you stream basically everything, then you won't have any issues. I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of everything, but here's a rapid-fire list of things that we know. It has a wraparound grille cloth with a sheared metal design towards the ends. It's 54 inches long, almost as long as the LG SN11RG. Supports both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth music streaming. Compatible with She Who Shall Not Be Named and the Google Assistant. 2 HDMI inputs, 1 HDMI output that supports eARC. Supports HDCP 2.3 with 8K HDR video pass-through. Not sure of HDMI 2.1 support yet. Digital optical in, 3.5mm auxiliary in, and the most surprising thing is that it has an RCA subwoofer output. This means you can theoretically add a second wired sub or replace the wireless sub with a wired one. This is very cool because it's an extremely uncommon thing to see on a flagship soundbar. There are a lot of conflicting timelines with this release. This system was actually expected back in September of 2020, but was delayed and pushed back to early 2021. As of recording this video, Crutchfield says that it's expected March 29th, B&H says March 2nd, Worldwide Stereo doesn't have a date, ABT says April 26th, and back in January, a Klipsch PR rep said within the next month or two. So who really knows at this point? And the retail price of this system is $14.99 USD. Which is right where I expect it to be considering the prices of comparable systems. Also coming from Klipsch is the Klipsch Cinema 800, a step down from the Klipsch Cinema 1200. It's a 3.1 channel system that comes with a smaller soundbar, smaller subwoofer, and no included surround speakers. Although it appears to be compatible with the Klipsch Surround 3 wireless speaker kit. By adding this, you make it a full 5.1 channel surround sound system. But you don't get any upward firing channels with the Cinema 800. Other than those things, it appears to have the same exact features as the Cinema 1200. No idea when this one will be released either, but it should be released alongside the Klipsch Cinema 1200. With a retail price of $7.99 USD, it's on the higher end of simple 3.1 channel systems with just a soundbar and wireless subwoofer, but I'm sure the system is going to sound fantastic. We'll just have to wait and see. Samsung announced quite a few different soundbars at CES 2021. The most notable is the Samsung HW-Q950A, which will have 11.1.4 channels of audio, similar to the Q950T with a 7.0.2 channel soundbar, but the surround speakers will have a front, side, and upward firing speaker. This will give each of the surround speakers a 2.0.1 channel configuration. Together, there'll be 4.0.2 channels. And when you add the soundbar, surround speakers, and subwoofer, you get a whopping 11.1.4 channels of audio. Absolutely insane. This is the most that has ever been announced for soundbar system, so it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to. They haven't released any official designs for it quite yet, but I'm hoping that they ditch the cloth covering and topside display. These are two things that just about everyone complained about on the Q950T. All we know as of right now is that it will be 11.1.4 channels with a total of 21 speaker drivers. They're adding AirPlay 2 capabilities. It will feature a new room calibration technology called SpaceFit. This calibration is said to be fully automatic and will work in tandem with select Samsung TVs that have Q Symphony. From what I've seen, it sounds like a Q Symphony TV isn't necessary for the calibration to work, but it will simply work better with one. Going along with SpaceFit, the subwoofer will also have a series of microphones to better calibrate the system's bass response. I'm quite interested to see how well this works because I felt that the bass was fairly subpar on the Q950T. I'm guessing that the price will be between $1,800 and $2,000 when it's released, but we also don't know when that is either. Very likely at some point this year, but no one knows exactly when. Samsung also announced the HW-Q800A, HW-Q70A, HW-Q60A, and an optional 4.0.2 channel rear speaker kit that will work with select soundbars. Again, they really haven't given us much information on these systems yet. The Q950A really sounds like an awesome system, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Not entirely sure why they're calling it the Q950A when it's a large step above the Q950T, but I digress. Moving on, LG announced their entire lineup of soundbars for this year. At the very top of their lineup is the LG SP11R. Again, there isn't a ton of information on this system specifically, but we do know that it will be a 7.1.4 channel soundbar, just like its predecessor, the SN11RG. Capable of playing both Dolby Atmos and DTS:X content, compatible with She Who Shall Not Be Named and the Google Assistant. Utilizing both Chromecast and AirPlay 2 for audio streaming, I'm assuming that it will also have Bluetooth as well. I'm hoping this system is much better than the SN11RG because I was extremely unimpressed with its performance back when I tested it against 5 other high-end soundbar systems. Link to that video in the description if you haven't seen it already. Going down LG's 2021 lineup, there's also the SP9, SP8, SPD7, SP7, QP5 Eclair, SN4, and SP2. That's a lot of soundbars. The second most notable one from that list is the QP5 Eclair soundbar system. This extremely compact soundbar is a measly 11.7 inches long. The subwoofer is also quite compact, but there aren't any specifics for it yet. Surprisingly enough, this will be a 3.1.2 channel system. The soundbar actually has dedicated upward firing speakers. It's pretty wild to think about. This system is expected in June or July, while all other LG soundbars are expected in March or April of this year. JBL announced a single new soundbar called the JBL Bar 5.0 MultiBeam. This one is actually quite interesting. So as the name suggests, this is a 5.0 channel soundbar. It uses Harman's proprietary beamforming technology called MultiBeam to bounce surround channels off the sides of your room to create a virtual surround sound environment. It also uses virtual Dolby Atmos to simulate height effects. Not sure how well this actually works, but it will be interesting to see. JBL states that it uses an onboard subwoofer with 4 passive radiators to give it deep and punchy bass. That's a pretty bold claim because I've never heard an onboard subwoofer actually produce decent bass. Not once. What's most interesting about the system is that it's compatible with Amazon's multi-room music protocol. This is the same technology that allows you to group different Amazon Echo speakers together. Very cool that they've added this feature because not many soundbars have done it so far. This soundbar can be controlled by the Google Assistant or She Who Shall Not Be Named, but does not include any onboard microphones. And of course, you can wirelessly stream audio using Chromecast, AirPlay 2, and good old Bluetooth. You can expect the JBL Bar 5.0 MultiBeam in spring of this year for $399.95 USD or 349 pounds. The next one comes from a company that I rarely talk about, but is a major player in this industry, Denon. They've announced the Denon Home Soundbar 550 back at CES. You don't see this often, but this is actually a 4-channel soundbar. and it has a total of 6 speaker drivers with 3 passive radiators. This is a fairly compact soundbar that's only 26 inches in length. They're stating that you get 3D sound with Dolby Atmos and DTS:X, which I find pretty unlikely to sound great. It seems that a lot of manufacturers are just including the spec on soundbars now, even when all the speaker drivers are firing forward and there's no way for the audio to effectively bounce behind you. It has a single HDMI input, HDMI eARC output, digital optical in, auxiliary in, and USB to play music. While the soundbar is supposed to be released on February 16th, before I'm even posting this video, there are a couple of features that won't be available until spring of 2021. Those features are voice commands using She Who Shall Not Be Named, and the ability to pair wireless surround speakers and a wireless subwoofer to the soundbar. I'm not entirely sure why they're releasing the system before these two very important features have been added. It's kind of strange, to be honest. And the last one that's not official at all, and I have no inside information about this, but there are some rumors of a new Nakamichi soundbar. Nakamichi currently has 3 great soundbar systems called Shockwave Pro 7.1.4, Shockwave Elite 7.2.4, and Shockwave Ultra 9.2.4. I've made reviews on both the Pro and Ultra systems, both of which I really like. There are a ton of people that absolutely love these systems. I literally get comments daily from people praising their Nakamichi systems, so they are definitely a great option. However, these systems are getting a little dated now. They don't have all the fancy features that most new soundbar systems have, but they still have the audio quality to counteract that. I don't know, I'm looking forward to a new flagship Nakamichi system, and I really hope they're able to get one out this year. Now that I've talked about some of the new systems coming out this year, let's talk about the best time to buy a soundbar. To keep this simple and short, the best time to buy any soundbar is basically between November and December. There you go. There's a life hack for you. Basically, all electronics are discounted through the months of November and December due to Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas, or in general the holidays. This is where we've literally seen the price of a Samsung HW-Q950T drop from $1,800 to like $1,300, and the Nakamichi systems drop around $150 to $250 each. Sonos will likely drop their prices slightly, but it's less dramatic than other brands. In general, even brand new products were discounted by at least 10 to 20% during this time. You'll also see big sales during Amazon Prime Day. This is typically the first or second week in July. It was pushed to October last year because of, the global thing that went on that happened everywhere. But this year, I'm expecting it to be in early July. This topic also entirely depends on your budget. If you only have a few $100s, then there are a ton of budget options available year-round that will do great for you. If you have a budget of $800 or more, then it's probably best to wait for a sale because a system that's slightly out of your budget is likely to drop a couple $100s where it will fit perfectly. It also depends on your audio background. If you're used to having a receiver and separate speakers, then you'll definitely need a higher end soundbar system to match or beat that expectation. You're not going to enjoy a lower quality or budget system. If you currently don't have any soundbar system and have been using your TV's terrible built-in speakers, then just about any soundbar is going to impress you. So if I were you and I currently have a soundbar system that I'm semi-happy with, just hold off a little bit and see what some of these newer systems can do, or wait for a sale on a system that you've been eyeing for a while. If you're listening to your TV speakers, please just go get something. You'll thank me later. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Quickly, I want to plug my new Instagram page. If you use Instagram and want to see some behind the scenes or what I'm working on, make sure to give me a follow. It's JonahMathis_YT. Link in the description as well. Are you excited about any of these systems? Why or why not? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure you click the subscribe button and ring that bell. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.